Joining us now, longtime pollster and political strategist Frank Luntz. He recently teamed up with the New York Times for a focus group made up of Gen Z voters who were mostly undecided. I have a question about that, but I will hold that one in. Frank, first of all, just what's the big picture from your point of view on the state of the race?
I had thought that Trump's debate performance would disqualify him. Then in the end, looking at the two candidates side by side, which the American people have been waiting weeks and months to see, that just as Biden's performance cost him the nomination, that Trump's performance would cost him the election. And I've had to walk that back a little bit because I think the race is dead even. I don't follow the national numbers at all. It's the 7 states, and in every one of those 7 states, it's within the margin of error. In fact, it's half the margin of error. So there's no way to call it right now, which is why these 4%, and that's it, these 4% races are impossible to predict. Now, they could all go for Harris, they could all go for Trump, but I'm questioning whether these undecided voters are even going to participate. I know you're going to play some sound.
Yeah.
But make no mistake, we are on a pin's edge right now, and the essential key point of this is that who they vote for is the next president of the United States.
So, Frank, let's listen to what some of the focus group participants had to say about why they are still undecided.
Raise your hand if you are undecided still at this point. If the election were held today, who would you vote for if you had to pick, if the election were held today, between Trump, Harris, a write-in, and not voting?
Yeah, I think I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. I just can't get over what happened in 2020 and what's been reaffirmed in the debates and the general, statements made during the campaign. Not just a riot, but the alternative slate of elector schemes is a bridge too far for me.
Angelo, just if you can ask briefly, you've been, a little bit leaning Harris, and I know tonight you raised some concerns. Why are you in the write-in camp right now?
In my opinion, the more I look back into it, the more I watch the debate, the more I look into her campaign, I cannot trust her. I'm not going to vote for Trump, but the more I think about it, the more I just don't know if I can vote for her because I just do not trust her. I'm more inclined to write someone who I feel like would best represent me through my vote.
Aisha, how about you? You raised your hand. If you had to vote today for Harris, why Harris?
I just want to see what she will do because I know she's going to have to run again later. So I'm hoping she will be an exemplary president for this term. That's my only reason.
Okay. And Abigail, how about you?
Some people said some things tonight that motivated me to do a little bit more research about the other side to January 6th that I haven't heard about before. But the thing is, I do not want to vote for someone. I do not want to tell my children that I voted for someone that actually threatened democracy. You know what I mean? I need to analyze and think a little bit more before I just vote for Trump.
Okay. So first of all, we thank everybody for participating. Absolutely no bad things to say about people who participate in these conversations. We thank you so much. But does anybody at this table need to take a deep breath? Because I do. I just do.
We've been listening to undecideds for weeks on 2A, and it's really hard to believe that there are still people who might vote third party or try to write in. It's just such a lack of understanding about the stakes and about why that's just throwing your vote away.
Oh, my God.
I just have to say, I'm just trying to find that grace
Find the
in
grace.
this moment. But I will say, I'm a millennial. I'm not Gen Z, so maybe I'm not the best messenger. But we all have some friends who are saying neither of these candidates fully supports, my views, and I think Gen Z comes from a generation where politics has been broken for a long time. Okay, I'm sympathetic. What I would just say is the way to build power is to start with the reality that we have. And you don't want to throw away your vote. This is a choice between 2 people, and that's it. Right. So are you really going to deny your neighbors Medicaid?
Donnie.
Donnie, question. Always nice to talk to you. The polls obviously are dead even, to your point, but historically, 2016, 2020, Trump has underperformed in the polls and overperformed. Has that been factored into the polling this time? Because you look at it even, and if you're a Democrat, you go, uh-oh, that means we're a couple of points down.
It's a good question. I don't think people are hesitant to say they're voting for Trump.
Right.
And the reason why is because it's now become so normalized that they're willing to say it and that there isn't a hidden Trump vote. I just want to say to the panel there, I hear you, and these voters hear you. Donald Trump, if he wants to win, needs to say less. If Kamala Harris wants to win, she needs to say more. They don't like who Trump is, but they agree with him on inflation and immigration. They do like what Harris represents, but they still feel like she hasn't been sufficiently forthcoming. So the challenge for her campaign is keep doing the media, keep putting yourself out there. She should do your show. In fact, I'd say to her, she should commit to doing your show once a week between now and Election Day. If she loses, it is going to be because she didn't answer the questions that voters had wanted to answer. And if he wins, it's because he finally realized that he needs to say less, not more.
This is disinformation.
Thank you, Frank Luntz. Veteran pollster and political strategist Frank Luntz, thank you very much. Okay, and then I got to get to Mara.
I know. No, look, I mean, this is part of why disinformation works, because this is what the right has been hitting her with
the two issues they agree with him on,
you can't
inflation
trust her.
and immigration, he's lying about.
Right.
Yeah.
So
they agree with his lies.
I don't think anyone wants camps, right? Mass deportation now is just not a winning message.
Yeah, and the day of violence. Mara, your latest, we're going to now for something completely different. Your latest piece for the New York Times takes on embattled New York City Mayor Eric Adams and asks the question, I want to know who's in charge at City Hall. Who is?
Yeah, the good news.
What's going on?
Yeah, this is the nation's largest municipal government. And
What the?
I mean, it is. Yeah, the good news is that now that Mayor Adams has been seeing, all the cronies that he hired flee the government for various reasons, and some are under investigation and others just couldn't take it anymore. There's a layer of really wonderful talented public servants who are running New York City. But the problem is it's kind of hard to get things done when your boss has no political capital and is embattled. And honestly, New York is the world's city. So we have to get this right. And, you can't just coast along.
So how does this play out? How does it play out?
I think that if there are more charges to come, it's going to be harder for the mayor to hold on to power. And I think in terms of, we already have an election next year. And so I think that re-election campaign for Adams is dead in the water. And the big question in New York is who is going to run New York City
the parlor
next?
Games.
I'd like to announce my candidacy.
I think you'd be good.
There's a draft Bloomberg